is that diet is what makes the biggest difference when it comes to... I can't believe I'm still talking to that camera up there. What is wrong with me? Hi guys, this is Chilla with Bestpaid 007, and today I will talk about the science of weight loss. Experts agree and disagree on many aspects of this question, and we see millions of people succeed with weight loss every year, and we also see millions of people fail with it. In my experience, what I see out there is that people are able to lose weight with many different methods and ideas, but they are not able to sustain the results. They are not able to maintain the results. And I always advocate for lifelong changes and lifestyle changes and mindset changes, that you have to learn once and do it once and then just maintain it and fine-tune it later on. So I will share you my ideas of what worked for me, what I learned from all the research and information I read from the experts, and what experts say. As I said, they agree and they disagree. So at the end of the day, you have to experiment with these and see if they work for you. Now, the big question when it comes to losing weight is it the diet or the exercise that make the biggest difference? Let me tell you, scientific fact number one, diet is most relevant when it comes to weight loss. I would say about 75 to 80%, somewhere between 70 and 80% is what diet is responsible for. The other 20 to 30% is the exercise. Technically, the diet is responsible for losing fat. The exercise is responsible for gaining and maintaining muscle mass. Very important. Think about that. I didn't know that when I first started my journey 25 years ago, when I was 20 years old and I stopped doing track and I gained 40, 50 pounds and I wanted to lose it. I have a very strong willpower, so in 3 months I lost it. Here's the first picture. I was heavy as heck, and then 3 months later I was too skinny, right? Technically. How did I do that? I just stopped eating and I ran 4 miles. I ate an apple a day and ran because this is what I thought what people need to do when they want to lose weight. No. After a few times I have done that, since every time I stopped dieting and not eating, I went into starvation mode, so I binged eat until I gained every single ounces of what I lost back or even more. I decided, wait a second, this is not gonna work. This is gonna help. This is going to destroy my metabolism, and I felt like a failure every single time. And this is why I started to research health, wellness, and fitness and weight loss, because I thought there has to be a better way than this. There has to be a better way than over cardio and under eat. And there is a better way. Number one, it is the diet. If you focus on the diet first and foremost, you will lose weight. Now, what do you have to eat? How much of it and how often to lose weight? It doesn't matter. You say, what? It doesn't matter. I thought you will tell us what to eat and how much of it. Well, it's your choice. By free will, you can choose what you are going to eat, how often, when. It's unbelievable. Actually, it is mind-blowing. Now, that said, you can lose weight on eating just fruit. If you want to eat healthy foods because you want to be healthy, eat just fruit, you will lose weight. If you want to eat just Nutella, you can actually lose weight on a Nutella diet. I'm telling you, one day I am going to go on a Nutella diet just so I can prove this point, that you can lose weight on Nutella. You can also lose weight if you eat every 3 hours, or if you're an intermittent faster and you eat only in an 8 or 6 hours window. It does not matter. You say, what do you mean it doesn't matter? Isn't that the whole idea of weight loss? Well, I don't want to eat Nutella. That's why I'm delaying the Nutella challenge, because I don't want to eat Nutella for a week or a month to prove my point, but I will. I have to do it for people to understand it, because I don't think I will get enough protein and I don't think I will get enough nutrients and vitamins, but it is doable, okay? How is it doable? Well, as long as you are in a calorie deficit, you will lose weight. Doesn't matter what you eat and how often you eat. Do I want to eat Nutella? No, I don't. Will I feel like I don't want to go and work out if I live on Nutella for a week? I guarantee you that I will feel terrible living on Nutella for a week, because it's not ideal. It's not an ideal healthy diet. But you don't have to eat healthy to lose weight. And if you want to eat healthy, eat healthy. You will lose weight as long as you are in a calorie deficit. Calories in, calories out. This just works for me every time I try to lose weight. This is the recipe for losing weight. Now, when I was 20 and I even had this natural muscle tone, as soon as I lost the extra weight, I was too skinny. I was skinny fat or skinny flat because I didn't have a lot of curves to start with in the first place. So I learned over the time that body composition and body fat percentage is a huge part of weight loss and how we end up looking. That's why it became a very important part for me of my weight loss and health journey to do exercise, because I wanted to look strong and I didn't just want to reach a goal weight in my mind. That's why it's important to take progress pictures before you start your journey to see the difference in your body composition. Sometimes you can be actually heavier and have a higher number showing on the scale, but on your picture you will see, on your progress picture you will see that your body fat percentage actually went down. So have an idea in your mind of how much you want to weigh, what you want to look like, how you want to feel, and why. Then you won't be so worried about the number on the scale. It's the whole picture together, diet and exercise, even though this part is about diet, because that's the easiest way to lose weight, to focus on the diet, to be in a calorie deficit. To be able to lose weight, you have to be in a calorie deficit. There are two ways to be in a calorie deficit. Not by eating healthy or not, or being an intermittent faster or not, as I said it before. You either can eat less or exercise more. It's much easier to eat less than exercise more. If you go on for an hour of run, about 6 miles per hour, you will burn around 550 calories, right? Depending on your age and sex and height and weight, it can vary. But about that, if you go on a jog for an hour, you will burn about 400 calories, 400, 440. So on the way home, you stop at Starbucks after an hour of running, what is really long. Now, if you're a runner, great, you do you. You don't have to worry too much about weight loss if you're a runner, because if you just run, and you watch what you eat, you probably have to watch if you eat enough if you're a runner, because you will run away thousands of calories. Anyway, you stop at Starbucks on the way home after your 1 hour run and you think you're a champ and you will lose weight. You order a Frappuccino and you easily get 500 to 600 calories back into your system, and that's just a drink. And then you will go home and eat lunch and have dinner. So watching your calories is the key. Counting them is the key. So before you start dieting, I tell clients, take a few days, a week, to count your calories and just see what you're eating and write it down, and you will be shocked, because people usually underestimate what they eat and overestimate how much exercise they do. Be careful with those numbers. And even exercise trackers, they overestimate, that even the treadmills overestimate how many calories you burn. So don't believe anybody. Just rely on your own tools and knowledge and the numbers, and then you will fine-tune it and figure it out. As I said, you have to only figure this out once. It works. It literally works like magic. And then you will maintain it for the rest of your life and fine-tune it. And then you will eat a little more healthy, or eat a less healthy, or eat a little more of this, or eat a little bit more of that, or eat more often or less often. Those questions are all coming down to you. As long as you're in a calorie deficit and you are losing your weight and you are establishing a body composition that you are happy with and you feel good, then you are on the right track. Now, if you don't feel good but you look great, something is off, right? Like somehow the results have to show no matter what you do, okay? What kind of diet you follow and how often you eat. Now, let's go to the numbers. You keep waiting for that, probably saying, okay, so tell me, how much do I have to eat? But that depends on who you are and what you do and what your lifestyle is, right? So that's why we have to have a few numbers calculated. You have to calculate your basal metabolic rate, BMR. You have to calculate your total daily energy expenditure, TDEE. And you have to calculate your target calorie goal, right? To know when you are in deficit and how to stick to that. So, okay, that's my phone. I was wondering what was going on. I thought, oh my gosh, they stopped recording. So, what is the BMR? BMR is the basal metabolic rate. It's called basal because it's the most basic, most fundamental metabolic rate you can count. That counting the calories you would use if you wouldn't do anything in a day. If you would just be laying down and you still use energy, right? It takes about 10 calories for the brain an hour to think, to breathe, to blink. So how much to keep your body warm? That's part of your basal metabolic rate. How do you count that? There are formulas out there. They are in kilograms and centimeters. So if you want to manipulate those, just say BMR formula and you will get it on in any search engine. But if you don't want to go to the trouble, like I don't, then I just say BMR calculator. There are several different calculators online. You just put the numbers in it: age, height, weight, body fat percentage. I think that's important. If you don't know your body fat percentage, that you're part of a gym, they can tell you your body fat percentage. You can take a picture of yourself, but it's very important to do the before and after pictures and progress pictures anyway, as I mentioned it before. And you can kind of compare your picture with body fat percent pictures on the internet, and you will know kind of where your body fat percentage is. Okay, it's not that complicated. Don't be afraid of estimating your body fat percentage, and then you will be shocked by the changes of the progress picture showing you how your body fat percentage is changing like crazy. So BMR is important to know. The other thing we need to know is TDEE, how much more calories you use on top of your BMR, on top of just organs functioning and breathing. And that a lot of times depends on how much exercise you do, right? The other things too, how much you eat, like it takes energy to digest the food you eat. But a lot of times it's mostly depending on how active you are. Do you live in do you live a sedentary lifestyle, or a lightly active life, or a very active life? Once you know how active you are, you can just put it in the TDEE calculator. It will give you the number. For me, it's about 2,300, between somewhere 23 and 2,400 calories. That's how many calories I use for the body fat percentage I have, for my age, my height, my weight, my activity level. That's how many calories I can eat to maintain my body weight. If I eat less than that, I will lose weight. If I eat more than that, if I'm in a calorie surplus, I will gain weight. That's another thing I probably didn't mention yet. If you are too skinny, you want to gain weight, you just have to go into calorie surplus. It works both ways. Now, what kind of a deficit? Okay, like everybody keeps asking, what kind of a calorie deficit do I need to be in to lose weight? And don't do what I did. Don't do it an apple a day. Because you will lose weight, but you are not going to be able to maintain it. You have to pick a deficit that is maintainable. And that, in my opinion, in experts' opinion, and what works for people generally, is about 500 calorie deficit in a day, what equals 3,500 calorie deficit in a week, what equals about a pound of weight loss a week. It's a very, very, very general number, right? Obviously, it won't work the same for a 110-pound woman and a 250-pound man, but this is just like a very rough estimate. There's a little better one if you know your TDEE, and you will know it right away once you put it in the calculator. I don't recommend to going in a deficit that is bigger than 25% of your TDEE. So you can still eat 75% of what you normally eat and still lose about a pound of fat a week. Okay, does that make sense? Good. So you can either go by the calories, about 3,500 calories equals a pound of less deficit, equals a pound of fat loss a week, or you can go by percentage-wise, about 25% less than your TDEE, and you will lose about a pound. It's a week. As I said, these are very generic numbers, so don't call me and say, hey, you told me I will lose a pound if I eat $500 less, and I ate 550 calories less a week, and I didn't lose a pound. Okay, these are just generic numbers, and for you to understand the fundamentals of losing weight. So do I have to count calories for the rest of my life? Everybody asks the next question, right? No, you don't. If you just count it for a while until you become super conscious of what you eat, how much of you eat, what makes you fat and what makes you skinny and what keeps you at a maintenance weight, then you can just be conscious of it, be an intuitive eater. That's how I do it. However, if I really want to lean down, I will calculate my calories. I will put it in MyFitnessPal, Chronometer, any other apps out there you can use work just great. They're super simple to use. You can even scan the barcode on certain packages, on the food packages, and they will tell you how many calories are there. Then you just have to adjust the serving size. Okay, so what is a calorie? According to the dictionary, calorie is the energy needed to raise the temperature of 1 kilogram of water to 1 Celsius. We use it for measure the energy value of food. It's technically just a way to know how much we eat, how much energy, as it said it, we use to measure the energy value of foods. Technically, the energy value of foods. You can find them on packages, easy, especially in the United States, not everywhere, but companies are required to put the calories on the packages. You can also look it up, USDA, they have a whole database of how many calories are in certain foods. So if you don't want to use an app, you can just get pen and paper, look up the different foods and write it down. You don't have to. It will work without an app as well. And don't forget that diet is for losing fat and exercise is to gain and maintain muscle mass. So I highly recommend to exercise while you are dieting, but you don't have to. A lot of people would like to just lose that weight first and then think about step 2. I recommend if you're overweight to go down to about 25 to 23% body fat and then even focus more on the exercise. I will talk about the exercise in part 2. It's very important for me, even though I don't even have to lose weight. So it becomes very handy when it comes to the whole picture of body composition, body fat percentage, how you look, how you feel. There's more than just being in calorie deficit, I guarantee you that, but that's the number one. Calorie deficit. Calculate your BMR, calculate your TDEE, know how much weight you want to lose, know what you want to look like, know what you want to feel like, take the progress pictures, take the before and after pictures, compare the pictures, know how you feel, see how you feel, note what you're eating, observe how you feel when you eat healthy or when you eat junk food, observe how you feel when you eat every 3 hours and when you eat only for a 4-hour window a day. Now for body composition change, I definitely think that keeping your protein high is essential. Most of the experts agree on that, but in my experiment, I experimented with low protein diets and high protein diets. Definitely I would go for the high protein diet. What is high protein in our case? It would be somewhere between 0.8 and 1 gram per pound of body weight. Some people think it's 1 gram per kilogram of body weight. I tend to think that going a little higher won't hurt as much as going a little too low. So it's up to you. I believe that generally women in modern societies, we don't eat enough protein as it is. My husband disagrees. My husband thinks that we eat plenty and the protein is overhyped. So that's why you have to make your own decisions. I explained this to my friend and we dialed her calories in. We talked about exercise and protein and she was so relieved and so happy and she said, this is life-changing. And I said, by the way, my husband thinks that this is way too high of protein intake that we calculated for you. And she's like, oh my gosh, are you kidding with me? So at the end of the day, the final decisions will come down to you. How much you eat, what you eat, how often you eat. But if you're smart, you learn how to work with the numbers. You don't have to become slave to the numbers. They use them as a tool, okay? So if one day you eat a little more, don't freak out. You're not going to get fat. That's what I used to think. I ate a piece of chocolate and I thought, oh my gosh, I became fat. No, you won't. It's calories in, calories out. Learn how to stay in a calorie deficit if you want to lose weight, and then you will be able to maintain it. Then figure out the exercise part and look better and younger than ever before and maintain it for the rest of your life. It's a lifestyle. You will see it works. It's fantastic. The answer is simple. They just make it complicated because the wellness industry is $1 billion business yearly. Plus, there's not a lot of overwhelming amount of research on this out there. But at the end of the day, it will come down to your experimentation, because one diet will work for one person. A keto person could get ripped, and a vegan person can get ripped and feel healthy and feel good. But maybe another person will not thrive on a keto diet. So all of these diets, all of the ideas, all the workout plans, they are wonderful. They are great tools. Just don't get lost out there and lose your focus on what's important and what are the fundamentals. And the fundamentals are that if you want to lose weight, you have to be in a calorie deficit. It's much easier to focus on the diet than on the exercise, because it's much easier to maintain a calorie deficit by eating less than exercising more. But you can actually combine the two and eat a little less and exercise, and you will figure out what's the right balance for you. If you like to exercise, obviously that will be like a bigger part in your weight loss journey than if you hate exercising. If you like to work with your food intake and choose more healthier options, and that will be your focus, right? So one way or another, the results will be there, even if they are not the results you're looking for. What do you mean? I wasn't looking for the body I have today. It just evolved because I just tend to be too skinny or too puffy, and I realized that the only way in between for me is to become strong, and I actually firmly believe that strong is the new skinny. I love an athletic, strong body, and that's what I advocate for forever, for a lifestyle, for maintaining it forever and just becoming better and better. I am 44 years old and I feel and look great. Best Babe 007. You say, oh my gosh, she's so arrogant. No, I'm not. It's not about me. I am not Best Babe 007. You are. I 100% believe that we all can become the best version of ourselves, to become in the best shape, look and feel the best. Is that the most important thing in life? Gosh, no. This is really not even important. And being in shape should only be the side effect of making the right diet choices, nutrition, right, eating right, and live an active lifestyle. So a lot of people, by the way, calorie deficit, if you don't want to count calories, you just eat a little less, like lower the serving sizes and move a little more, right? Some people don't even exercise. They just live healthy and garden and wash their car, and that's enough for them, and watch their serving sizes, and that's enough. So it's not that complicated. It's just there are a lot of temptations out there. I agree. Yes, I do. It's not easy, but you get this. Okay, that's it for today. Part 2 I will come out with is about exercise. Look forward to it. Give me a thumbs up and subscribe, and that's it for today. Can't believe I